Our guest today has had big cuts with Rihanna, Christina Aguilera, the Veronicas, Celine Dion, and Cher. In addition, her own records are mesmerizing and simply fantastic. Her vocal will knock you out. In 2014, she was dropped by Warner Brothers Records and then turned right around and clocked over 1 billion streams on her song Lost on You. She's a native New Yorker, now living in LA, and in the immortal words of Spinal Tap, she goes to 11. Here's LP. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm just, I'm looking at the sunshine as usual.
Yeah, sure. Tell us, what are you in LA?
Yeah. It's, just another beautiful freaking day here, as usual.
As usual. I'm looking forward to going out there soon because the weather's so nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm an East Coast person, so I never even dreamed I could live in I don't know. I just never even thought about moving to the West Coast for some reason. And then now I have a house here and I'm pretty set.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going over all your stuff last night. So you were born in New York, right? Long Island?
Yeah.
So you are you're an East Coast person.
Like, I didn't realize you could just pick up and leave the East Coast and move to the West Coast. It didn't occur to me.
So it said your mom was an opera singer. Is that right?
She sang opera. Yeah, she studied opera and sang opera when she was young. She's passed away, but she was responsible for exposing me to a lot of opera. And then I started my first training was at Carnegie Hall and stuff, and with an opera teacher. It was really just scales. It's kind of what I still do today. I've gone through. I still work with a teacher, now, and kind of because I have to keep my shit, I have to warm up all the time and everything because, I sing pretty hard. So.
You do. And you have an amazing voice. That's what I was wondering, if you were classically trained. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm trained. You can't, in my opinion, you can't kind of keep that kind of level of range and stuff going, forever and that much on the road if you don't do all the. I mean, I can't. I don't know. I'm sure people can.
I think it's common. I played in bands back in my 20s, and I saw more than one singer just crash and burn within about a week on the road, because touring is rough on singers, man. Really rough.
Yeah, you find yourself getting super jealous of your guitar players and bass players, because for one thing, they can hang on the road more and party more on the road more.
Yeah, if you're the bass player and you've got a bad cold, it really isn't going to affect your show. Really.
Exactly. I mean, that's one thing. That's what I think the training and all that has done for me, because I could talk all day, when I've got press and everything, and I'm fine. The real nemesis for me is I'll get acid reflux sometimes, and that's the worst. And I've had it for years at a time. It's wow. I mean, that's the biggest enemy for singers, man. It
is. You've had a lot of big cuts, really great stuff. Do you consider yourself a writer separate from being an artist?
I think they go hand in hand. I don't think for me, I mean, for a while in between, the, let's say the, fourth and fifth record deal, the third and fourth major label deal, I was on a 2-year songwriting thing where I didn't think I'd get another artist thing going. So that's when I was just free falling into the being a songwriter, period. I mean, I knew I could sing, I mean, listen, it's maybe not everyone's taste, whatever, but I feel I knew I could sing well, but songwriting was really the thing that held mysteries for me, on how to get to the crux of the emotion and the message and everything. Just when I was songwriting for other people only, I just really tried to branch out and do different genres, and even when I got the Rihanna cut, I was so happy because I just was never imagined that I'd get a cut with her, because I didn't really, I think people consider me more alternative or pop rock or something like that,
Right.
But I feel I stretched it out a lot, and it helped me as an artist, and then I think they're inextricably wound to each other. you know.
And the Rihanna song was called Cheers, right? Huge
Yeah.
song. Huge song.
Yeah.
So going in that period as a writer, were you always writing for yourself or were you aiming at Rihanna?
No, that one was aiming at Rihanna. That was
Okay.
like a Rihanna songwriting camp per se, you know, like, but like now I kind of just like, I just keep writing songs and like, you know, like Celine Dion put one of them on her last record, Courage or whatever, and that was just a song I was like holding to possibly be on my next record. So I feel like I just try to bank songs as much as possible, because when I was writing for other people, it kind of really got like a structure at that time. I don't do that anymore because I'm just like, I feel like I just can take breaks and then I just pop them out really fast. But I feel like it got to be a job, you know, like I went in, I had like a session every day or two. And I just, you know, whether I felt like it or not, I had to write, you know, like they don't really, songwriters don't get like a break, like, oh, you don't feel inspired. Oh, you're not in the mood. You just had to, you had to just write. So really that kind of helped me, you know.
It builds muscles, you know, and even though sometimes it's tough when you don't feel it, it does give you muscles and skills for your own thing. I think it is good. Plus it gives you so much more, I think, more credibility when you've got these big artists recording your songs, you know?
I think so too. It's like, it's very, I don't know. I think, first of all, I think it keeps me fresh as a writer, you know what I mean? To like kind of think of other people sometimes. And, you know, and I love working with bands. Like I have a song with Spoon, on one of their records, a record or two ago, and the Kooks. And, that's always fun too. Like having, you know, working in a band scenario with someone, you know, I don't know. I think variety keeps me going.
Absolutely. Who are your early influences in music?
Very classic shit, you know, like Queen and the Stones and the Beatles, Nirvana, Green Day, Jeff Buckley, Roy Orbison, because I like all that like kind of bombastic frontman kind of stuff. And then I also like that kind of, you know, I don't know, troubadour. I mean, you know, Bob Dylan and all that, but like I feel like Roy Orbison and Kurt Cobain are similar in some ways, you know what I mean? With they're kind of like kind of looking off into the distance, kind of breaking your heart, you know, kind of thing in different ways. I don't know, you know, I just think that I love that classic shit, you know.
My wife's a huge Freddie Mercury just freak, and I love him too, but we talk about it all the time, you know. He's a gay man, but he was so incredibly macho on stage, you know.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, you know. You got a bunch of men like that love that band that weren't gay, following a band called Queen with a gay front singer, and not even questioning whether he was gay or not. That shit is hilarious and amazing, you know.
Yeah, I was a kid. I remember it just never really occurred. And then I remember hearing one thing maybe in college is like, well, yeah, he's gay. And you're like, what? And then like you said, then you're like, wait a minute, it's called Queen. And yeah, okay.
I mean, yeah, it's so precious that no one knew. But yeah, the other end of the thing is I really enjoy, like, you know, there's another leg of things with like Nina Simone, Aretha Franklin, Chaka Khan kind of thing, like Joni Mitchell. I feel like all these different people taught me different parts of my voice, you know.
What about Celine Dion? You said you got a cut. Have you always been a fan of her?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know if I emulated her as much, but I mean, her voice is unbelievable. Singer. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't think anyone could emulate her, but she's Celine's an incredible voice. I like that clean, high stuff, you know.
Well, your stuff's like that, sort of operatic. I love the Roy Orbison reference. I totally get that. You have that sort of ethereal, sort of dreamy, high, I don't know, like lonely sounding a little bit. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of emotion. Like that's the thing about voices that's so fascinating is that, you know, when one hits you, you just don't know. Like it's like, you know, Jeff Buckley for me, it was like, Jesus, wow, like what the hell is happening? You know, that's the wonder of voices.